Lesson 9.
In the previous lesson, we learned some useful expressions for buying tickets.
Right, such as 羽田空港まで大人1枚
One adult ticket to Haneda Airport. In this lesson, you'll learn some useful expressions for buying something, and also review some crucial question words such as what
何
and how much.
いくら
This conversation takes place at
キオスク
kiosk. The conversation is between
店員さんとアシュリーさん
a shop clerk and Ashley. In the previous lesson, Ashley bought a ticket to go to her hotel. Now she's buying some food at a kiosk in the airport before she gets on the bus. Since it's a conversation between a clerk and a customer, you'll hear
Formal Japanese.
Since we'll introduce you to new counters, we strongly recommend that you read Appendix 7 as a reference.
いらっしゃいませ。このサンドイッチ1つとこのクッキーを2つください。すみません。これは何ですか？
それは天むすです。美味しいですよ。天ぷらとおむすびです。
じゃあ、それを2個ください。
サンドイッチ1つ、クッキー2つ、天むす2つ。お会計890円です。
すみません。いくらですか
？890円です。
890円。じゃあ、はい、1000円。
お釣り110円です。ありがとうございました。
One time slowly.
いらっしゃいませ。
このサンドイッチ1つとこのクッキーを2つください。すみません。これは何ですか？
それは天むすです。おいしいですよ。天ぷらとおむすびです。
じゃ、それを2個ください。
サンドイッチ1つ、クッキー2つ、天むす2つ、お会計890円です。
すみません。いくらですか
？890円です。
890円。じゃ、はい、1000円。
お釣り110円です。ありがとうございました。
Now with the English translation.
いらっしゃいませ。
Welcome. このサンドイッチ1つとこのクッキーを2つください。
I'd like one of these sandwiches and 2 cookies, please.
すみません。これは何ですか？
Excuse me, what is this?
それは天むすです。美味しいですよ。
That's tenmusu. It's really good.
天ぷらとおむすびです。
It's tempura and musubi.
じゃあ、それを2個ください。
Okay, I'll take 2 of those.
サンドイッチ1つ、クッキー2つ、天むす2つ。
1 sandwich, 2 cookies, and 2 tenmusu.
お会計890円です。
Your total is 890 yen.
すみません。いくらですか？
Huh? I'm sorry, how much is it?
890円です。
890 yen.
890円。じゃあ、はい、1000円。
890 yen. Okay, here's 1,000 yen.
お釣り110円です。
Your change is 110 yen.
ありがとうございました。
Thank you.
I bet this lesson would be a good review lesson for numbers.
Absolutely. In the dialogue we had 890 yen 890 yen. 1000 yen, 1000 yen. 110 yen, 110 yen. Now, if you don't feel confident with numbers, please check Basic Bootcamp Lesson 4 and 5 and Appendix 1.
By the way, Peter さん, have you ever had 天むす?
天むすは何ですか? What's 天むす?
It's explained in the dialogue.
I just wanted to use the target question.
Okay, 天むす is like a sandwich, but they use rice instead of bread.
The first part of the word, ten, that comes from tempura, right?
はい。
Deep fried fish or vegetable. And musu comes from
おむすび.
rice bowl.
So they put tempura in the rice bowl. I believe they usually put shrimp tempura and wrap it with seaweed.
Now, tenmusu used to be a local cuisine in central Japan area, the center part of Honshu, the main island, or as it's known in Japanese, the Chūkyō area. But it became popular all over Japan.
天むすは美味しいですよ。
美味しいですね. I had it when I went to Nagoya.
ああ、そうですか。
Apparently, it's pretty famous there.
そうそうそう。そうですね。美味しい is delicious ですね。
Okay, on to the vocabulary. First word.
なん。What? な。ん。なん。
Next.
いくら、
How much?
いくら、いくら、
Next.
おいしい、
Delicious.
おいしい、おいしい、
Next.
会計、
Check. Bill.
かいけい、会計、
Next.
おつり、
Change.
おつり、おつり。
Let's have a closer look at the usage for some of the words and phrases from this lesson. The first phrase we'll look at is
いらっしゃいませ。
May I help you? Literally, welcome or welcome money. That's how we kind of translate it because it's commonly heard at a place of business.
そうですね。
So if you're going shopping in Japan or you go to a restaurant in Japan, when you open the door and go in, you'll hear
いらっしゃいませ。
So we say welcome money because it's said at a place of business and they're welcoming you and of course your money.
Good translation.
Now, Naomi-sensei, when a shop clerk says いらっしゃいませ, what are you supposed to do?
It really depends on how the shop clerk says it. If the shop clerk says that phrase multiple times, like いらっしゃいませ、いらっしゃいませ, that いらっしゃいませ is not addressed to you. You can just ignore them.
But what if the shop clerk looks you in the face and says いらっしゃいませ?
With a small bow?
Yeah.
I'd say it's still okay to ignore them. But if you don't want to ignore them, maybe saying どうも or a small nod would be appropriate.
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard it, I went into a small convenience store and the person said,
いらっしゃいませ.
and I didn't know what to do.
Oh,
So I just kind of stood there for a few seconds and then I went on my way. But yeah, it's perfectly okay to ignore and keep going on. It's just saying, welcome. One variation on this welcome phrase that you may hear in less formal places is
いらっしゃい.
and there's a little more a casual feel to it, but meaning the same thing. Welcome. No need to respond. Basically, they're just acknowledging your presence. What's the next word?
会計.
This is account, bill, finance, total amount. Many different meanings. In this lesson dialogue, though, it means total amount. It has a long vowel, a sound at the end, right?
はい、そうです。会計. It's often the case we add polite prefix お in front of 会計, お会計.
And you could take what Naomi just said and attach お願いします to get check please.
お会計お願いします.
Now, in the dialogue, the shop clerk said,
お会計890円です.
your total is 890 yen. Well, now, if you don't have 890 yen, you're probably going to give the shop clerk something larger.
Right, like 1,000 yen or 900 yen.
And in that case, you're going to get change.
はい, which is お釣り.
Now, actually, it's tsuri, but again, the honorific prefix
お
is used. So we have,
お釣り.
so in the dialogue, the clerk said,
お釣り 110円です。ありがとうございました。
Your change is 110 yen. Thank you. So Naomi-sensei, a math question for you. How much did Ashley give?
1000円。
1,000 yen. What's interesting here though, could we have that line one more time?
お釣り110円です。
The topic marking particle wa is missing. It should really be
お釣りは110円です。
literally the change 110 yen is. Of course, it means your change is 110 yen. And the final phrase we'll cover is
ありがとうございました。
thank you. Now, it's a new phrase, but it isn't. Let us explain. Now, we've learned
ありがとうございます。
in lesson 2, which is a very polite way to say thank you. But the phrase we have in this lesson is
ありがとうございました。
Naomi-sensei, what's the difference?
ございました is the past form of ございます。So, ありがとうございました is used to give thanks for something in the past.
Alright, I think we should illustrate with an example. Here's one. Imagine you're at a department store. You found something you'd like to buy and you tell the shop clerk you'll take it.
The shop clerk would say, ありがとうございます。
Like, thank you for your decision. The shop clerk tells you the price, you pay the money. The transaction is completed. When you leave the shop, the clerk says,
ありがとうございました。
So that's it, everything is finished.
Right.
On to the grammar point. In this lesson, we'll review some crucial question words such as what and how much. We'll also go over some important expressions used for buying something, such as counters to specify the number of items you want. Naomi-sensei, which one should we start with?
Why don't we start with the review?
In the dialogue, we saw two key question words. They are
何
meaning what and
いくら
meaning how much. Now, allow us to show you the sentence structure.
これはクッキーです。
Literally, this cookie is. Of course, this is a cookie. Now, to form a yes-no question, you simply add
か at the end of the sentence.
remember? So, is this a cookie would be?
これはクッキーですか
Now, remember, in Japanese, the question word doesn't necessarily come at the beginning. So we have this structure. One more time. How do we say, is this a cookie?
これはクッキーですか
Now, to ask, what is it? Or what is this? Replace
クッキ
with
ー何
what?
So, これは何ですか
What is this? So we simply replace cookie with
何
what? Now, remember, the structure is staying the same. So if we wanted to ask, how much is this?
Replace 何
What?
with いくら
How much? So the sentence is,
これはいくらですか
how much is this? Simple, right?
うん。
Now, of course, if the topic is already understood, or if you point or gesture, you can omit これ, this, and the topic marking particle は.
So, you could say 何ですか
What is it?
or いくらですか
How much is it? Okay, on to the main focus of this lesson. Naomi-sensei, what are we going to cover here?
Something を number plus counter ください sentence pattern.
Sounds complicated, but it's building off what we already know. Something, o kudasai, is give me something, please. Now we're just adding an amount to it. Give me one of those. Give me two of those. Give me 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember, Japanese uses counters based on the appearance of things. So in the dialogue, Ashley bought some food at a kiosk, specifying how much of each item she wanted. We'll show you how in just a minute, but before we go on, let's cover counters again really quickly.
The counters we'll introduce you to are つ and こ.
I'm going to oversimplify a bit here, but basically, tsu is a counter for general objects, and ko is a counter for small objects. For a detailed list of these counters, please look at appendix number 7 and the lesson notes for this lesson. Naomi-sensei, what do we have in the dialogue?
クッキーを2つください.
I'd like 2 cookies, please.
I think it would be a good idea to start with クッキーをください.
Cookie, please. Now, if you're not familiar with the usage of kudasai, please go back to lesson 3 and listen to the grammar section. In short, it's an expression that means give me something. Can you give us a sentence one more time?
クッキーをください.
As you already know, Japanese doesn't have plural or singular. So it can mean please give me a cookie or please give me cookies. Let's break it down.
クッキ
Cookie or cookies.
ーを
This is the object marking particle. This marks the object of the action.
ください.
Please give. So literally, cookie please give me. Please give me cookies.
So cookie could be just one cookie or could be a million. And at a shop, it could cause a problem. So we add number plus counter after the object marker を. 2つ means two things. So クッキーを2つください.
Please give me 2 cookies. Let's break down the sentence.
クッキーを
Cookie plus object marker.
2つ
2 things.
ください.
Please give me. Please give me 2 cookies. Now, if you reference the counter for general objects in the lesson notes for this lesson, you'll see a one object section. There you'll see the word for one thing. That is?
1つ
So if you wanted 1 cookie, you would say,
クッキーを1つください.
Please give me 1 cookie. Now, if you reference the chart, you can see 3 objects. How would you say, please give me 3 cookies?
クッキーを3つください.
How about 4 cookies? Please give me 4 cookies.
クッキーを4つください.
So you can see the pattern. Object, followed by the number, plus the counter, and finally,
ください. For small items, you can almost use counter こ and つ interchangeably.
to sum it all up, in Japanese there are many counters, and the counters are based on the physical appearance of things. There are 2 general counters, tsu and ko. Ko is for small items and tsu is for general. But you can use these 2 general counters to specify numbers of things. And at this point in your Japanese, these will come in very handy. The better you get, the more counters you become familiar with and you can use. But for now, these 2 can get you through a lot of sticky situations. Okay, let's recap this lesson with a quiz. Naomi Sensei is going to ask you a question in Japanese. Your job is to guess the best response. Are you ready? Question 1.
いくらですか?
Is the best response A,
100円です.
B,
天むすです.
or C?
いいえ.
The answer is
A. 100円です. It's 100 yen.
ikura desu ka means how much is it? So the only possible answer is
100円です.
100 yen. Next question.
何ですか?
Is the best response A,
いらっしゃいませ.
B,
それは天むすです.
or C?
ありがとうございました.
The best answer is
B. それは天むすです.
the question, nan desu ka, means what is it? So the answer B,
天むすです.
it's tenmusu, is the most appropriate answer.
Right. いらっしゃいませ means
Welcome.
ありがとうございました means
Thank you very much. In the next lesson, Ashley is checking in at the hotel. You'll learn some useful expressions at the hotel.
じゃあまた.
Listen to the entire conversation once again.
いらっしゃいませ。
このサンドイッチ1つと、このクッキーを2つください。すみません。これは何ですか？
それは天むすです。美味しいですよ。天ぷらとおむすびです。
じゃあ、それを2個ください。
サンドイッチ1つ、クッキー2つ、天むす2つ。お会計890円です。
すみません。いくらですか
890円です。
？890円。じゃあ、はい、1000円。
お釣り110円です。ありがとうございました。
Practice with the review track.
なん、
What?
な、ん、なん、
いくら、
How much?
い、く、ら、いくら。おいしい、
Delicious.
お、い、し、い。おいしい。会計、
Check. Bill.
か、い、 けい、会計、お釣り、
change,
おつり、お釣り。サンドイッチ、
sandwich,
さんどいち、サンドイッチ、
cookie,
クッキー、クッキー、クッキー。
rice ball with tempura,
天むす、てんむす、天むす。
rice ball,
おむすび、おむすび、おむすび。
tempura, Japanese deep fried food,
天ぷら、てんぷら、天ぷら。
two small objects,
2個、2個、2個。
lesson 10,
In the last lesson, you learned useful vocabulary and phrases for shopping.
Right, such as サンドイッチを一つください。
One sandwich, please. In this lesson, you'll learn how to say from A to B in Japanese.
Right, から from and まで until.
Or two. And we'll introduce useful words and grammar for checking in at a hotel. Naomi-sensei?
はい。
This conversation takes place at
品川プリンセスホテル。
Shinagawa Princess Hotel, where Ashley is going to stay for about 2 weeks. The conversation is between
アシュリーと受付。
Ashley and the receptionist. As it's a conversation between Ashley and the receptionist, you'll hear
formal Japanese.
For this lesson, we recommend you reference Appendix 2, 3, and 9.
いらっしゃいませ。ご予約のお名前は？
アシュリーです。
アシュリー・ジョーンズ様ですね。
はい、そうです。
1名様、禁煙のお部屋。今日から8月31日までですね。
はい、そうです。
じゃあ、ご署名お願いします。ジョーンズ様のお部屋は807号室でございます。こちらお部屋のカードキーでございます。それからこちら朝食券でございます。
朝食券。朝食券は何ですか？
朝食は朝ごはんです。ブレックファーストです。券はチケットです。朝食券はブレックファーストのチケットです。
ああ、はい。朝ごはんは何時からですか？
朝食は6時半から9時まででございます。
One time slowly.
いらっしゃいませ。ご予約のお名前は？
アシュリーです。
アシュリー・ジョーンズ様ですね。
はい、そうです。
1名様、禁煙のお部屋。今日から8月31日までですね。
はい、そうです。
じゃあ、ご署名をお願いします。ジョーンズ様のお部屋は807号室でございます。こちら、お部屋のカードキーでございます。それから、こちら、朝食券でございます。
朝食券。朝食券は何ですか？
朝食は朝ごはんです。ブレックファーストです。 券はチケットです。朝食券はブレックファーストのチケットです。
ああ、はい。朝ごはんは何時からですか？
朝食は6時半から9時まででございます。
Now with the English translation.
いらっしゃいませ。ご予約のお名前は？
Welcome. What name is your reservation under?
アシュリーです。
Ashley.
アシュリー・ジョーンズ様ですね。
Ms. Ashley Jones, is that right?
はい、そうです。
Yes, that's right.
1名様、禁煙のお部屋。今日から8月31日までですね。
A non-smoking room for one from today until August 31st. Is that correct?
はい、そうです。
Yes, that's right.
じゃあ、ご署名お願いします。
Your signature, please.
ジョーンズ様のお部屋は807号室でございます。
Your room number is 807.
こちら、お部屋のカードキーでございます。
Here's the key card to your room.
それからこちら、朝食券でございます。
And here are your 朝食券。
朝食券。朝食券は何ですか？
朝食券。What is a 朝食券？
朝食は朝ごはんです。
朝食 is breakfast.
ブレックファーストです。
It's breakfast.
券はチケットです。
券 is a ticket.
朝食券はブレックファーストのチケットです。
朝食券 are breakfast tickets.
ああ、はい。朝ごはんは何時からですか？
Oh, okay. What time is breakfast?
朝食は6時半から9時まででございます。
Breakfast is from 6:30 to 9.
Okay, Naomi-sensei. Now, the grammar is not so complicated for this lesson, but there are a lot of difficult words.
そうですね。Yeah, right. But I'm pretty sure those words will come in handy when you're checking in at the hotel.
Definitely.
I think there's one word we have to explain.
Probably a few, but yeah, let's start with the main one.
ご飯.
Rice.
ご飯 means cooked rice, but it also means meal.
As we explained in the All About Japanese series, Japan's staple food is rice, so people eat rice a lot. That's why the word gohan means not only rice, but meal.
そうですね。Even if the meal doesn't include actual rice, you can still call it ご飯.
There's a chart in the lesson notes that you can reference, and it has a list of the meals, but we're going to cover them here quickly.
朝 is morning, so 朝ごはん is
Morning meal or breakfast.
昼 is daytime, so 昼ごはん means
Daytime meal, lunch.
晩 is evening, so 晩ごはん is
Evening meal, supper, dinner.
夕方 is also evening, so 夕ごはん is
Evening meal, supper, dinner. Now, Naomi-sensei, I've heard people call dinner or supper as yoru gohan. Yoru is night, right?
はい。
Gohan is meal, right?
そうですね。Yeah, some people say 夜ご飯 but I don't think it's a proper word. I don't know, the language is changing every day, so someday it'll become a proper word, but to me, 夜ご飯 sounds a little strange.
So you're better off sticking to bangohan or
夕ご飯
for supper or dinner.
そうですね。
One last note before we go on. Naomi-sensei, where is Ashley staying?
品川プリンセスホテル
And it's kind of a joke because there's a very famous hotel here in Japan, Shinagawa Prince Hotel.
はい。
It's a very well-known hotel brand.
そうですね。
Okay, on to the vocabulary. First word.
予約、
Reservation.
よ、や、く、予約、
Next.
禁煙、
No smoking.
き、ん、え、ん、禁煙、
Next.
部屋、
Room.
へ、や、部屋、
Next.
朝食、
Breakfast.
朝食朝食
Next.
何時
What time?
何時何時
Let's have a closer look at the usage for some of the words and phrases from this lesson. Naomi-sensei, what's the first thing we'll look at?
Polite or honorific prefix o and go, as in お名前
Your honorable name,
and ご署名
your honorable signature.
honorable.
Now, o and go are prefixes used to show respect or politeness, and they're attached to the beginning of some words. Now, it's said, it's a rule of thumb, kind of, that o precedes words of Japanese origin or words commonly used in daily life, whereas go precedes words of Chinese origin. But there's a lot of exceptions, right?
A lot.
So again, it's kind of a rule of thumb.
Yeah, basically what you have to do is memorize each time.
Let's look at the words from the dialogue. First we have
予約
reservation. Yoyaku becomes
ご予約
add the prefix go. Next we have
名前
name. Namae becomes
お名前
next there's
部屋
room. Heya becomes
お部屋
and finally we have
署名
which becomes
ご署名 Speaking of formality of the language, we also need to mention 様
if you remember, sama is a polite suffix, more polite than san.
はい
What's interesting here is, in the dialogue, sama is added to the counter.
1名
So we get
1名様
which means one person.
Right. At a nice restaurant or at a hotel, you might hear the clerk says 1名様、2名様、3名様, and so on to confirm the number of their customers.
Okay, what's next?
朝食
Breakfast. Now, we just talked about the word asagohan. Now, asagohan also means breakfast. But Naomi-sensei, what's the difference between chōshoku and asagohan?
Both are used quite often, but I would say 朝ごはん is more everyday word.
I don't know, maybe I kind of get the sense that asagohan is more colloquial or kind of more casual than
Yeah.
chōshoku.
I think so.
What's the next word?
6時半
6:30. 6:30.
6時 means
6 o'clock.
and 半 means
Half or half past in this case.
そうです。
Now, Appendix 2 covers how to tell time in Japanese, so please reference that appendix if you're not fully up to speed on telling time in Japanese. Finally, we have
禁煙
no smoking.
難しいですね。
Be careful. It's not,
記念
but it's.
禁煙
You have to hit the first N in there.
By the way, 記念 is commemoration or memorial, and 禁煙 is no smoking.
Can we hear them side by side?
Sure. 記念
Commemoration or memorial.
禁煙
No smoking. On to the grammar point. In this lesson, you'll learn how to confirm something using the sentence ending particle ne and learn how to use particles kara, from, and made, to create from A to B sentences.
そうです。
First things first, let's learn the sentence ending particle ne.
そうですね。Good idea.
Now, ne is a sentence ending particle that indicates that the speaker wants the listener to agree with or confirm what they have said. When used to prompt such agreement, it's very similar to English tag questions, such as, isn't it? Or, aren't you? Or, right? Let's look at the following examples from the conversation. After Ashley told the receptionist her name, the receptionist says,
アシュリー・ジョーンズ様ですね。
Ms. Ashley Jones, is that right? So the receptionist is confirming the information that she has on file for Ashley by using the particle ne. Can we have more sample sentences to illustrate this?
Okay, another sentence I can think of is これは100円ですね。
This is 100 yen, right? Now, remember, using ne as a tag question is one of the uses. There are many uses. Today we're focusing on tag questions, eliciting a response.
そうですね。
Okay, on to the next grammar point.
A から B まで
From A to B. In Lesson 8, we learn the word
まで
which means until or to. In this lesson, we'll learn the word
から
which means from. Now, when we combine this with
まで
we can create a from to or from until sentence pattern.
Please be careful because the word order is different from English.
For example, in English, from comes first.
そうですね。
For example, from 2 o'clock.
In Japanese, that would be 2時 2 o'clock から from 2時から 2 o'clock from.
How about until 6? Again, English is in the beginning, until 6.
In Japanese, we say 6時まで6時6 o'clock まで until. So 6時まで6 o'clock until.
Let's hear them together.
2時から6時まで
From 2 to 6.
2時から
From 2
6時まで
until 6 to 6.
2時から6時まで
From 2 to 6. Now, much like English, in addition to using this to talk about points in time, we can also use this to talk about location. For example, from the airport to the hotel.
From the airport 空港から to the hotel ホテルまで So 空港からホテルまで
Literally, airport from, hotel to. Of course, from the hotel to the airport. Let's recap this lesson with a quiz. The quiz will be multiple choice. We'll give you a question and 3 possible answers. Naomi Sensei is going to ask you a question in Japanese. Your job is to guess the best response. The first question is,
お名前は
is the best reply A,
いらっしゃいませ
B,
アシュリーです
C?
そうです
The answer is,
B アシュリーです
onamae wa is originally,
お名前は何ですか
what's your name? But we use the magical wa to cut it in half.
and get お名前は
And the rest is implied by the speaker and can be inferred by the listener. So the best response to that is
アシュリーです
Ashley.
いらっしゃいませ is
Welcome.
そうです means
That's right. On to the vocab check. I'll ask the question. Please choose the correct answer. How do you say breakfast in Japanese? A,
朝ごはん
B,
予約
C?
禁煙
The answer?
A 朝ごはん朝 morning ご飯 meal or cooked rice
That concludes this lesson. In the next lesson, we'll introduce useful weather-related vocabulary.
じゃあまた
Listen to the entire conversation once again.
いらっしゃいませ。ご予約のお名前は
アシュリーです。
アシュリー・ジョーンズ様ですね。
はい、そうです。
1名様、禁煙のお部屋、今日から8月31日までですね。
はい、そうです。
じゃあ、ご署名お願いします。ジョーンズ様のお部屋は807号室でございます。こちらお部屋のカードキーでございます。それからこちら朝食券でございます。
朝食券。朝食券は何ですか？
朝食は朝ごはんです。ブレックファーストです。券はチケットです。朝食券はブレックファーストのチケットです。
ああ、はい。朝ごはんは何時からですか？
朝食は6時半から9時まででございます。
Practice with the review track.
予約、
Reservation.
よ、や、く、予約。様、
Mr. Mrs.
さ、ま、様。禁煙、
No smoking.
き、ん、え、ん。禁煙。部屋、
Room.
へ、や、部屋。号室、
Room number.
ご、う、し、つ。号室。カードキー、
Key card.
カードキー、カードキー。
Breakfast.
朝食、ちょ、う、しょ、く。朝食。
Breakfast.
朝ごはん、あ、さ、ご、は、ん。朝ごはん。
What time?
何時、な、ん、ち。何時。
6:30. Half past 6.
6時半、ろ、く、じ、は、ん。6時半。
Ticket.
券、け、ん、券。
Lesson 11.
In the previous lesson, you learned the sentence pattern from to,
such as 1時から2時まで
from 1 to 2,
and 空港からホテルまで
from the airport to the hotel. You also learned some useful words and grammar for checking in at a hotel. In this lesson, you'll learn some useful phrases to use at the hotel and some useful weather-related vocabulary.
This lesson's grammar point is どこ
The question word where. So, you'll learn how to ask where is something.
はい、
This lesson's conversation takes place at
ホテルです。
a hotel.
朝ですね。
That's right, it's in the morning. The conversation is mainly between,
アシュリーとホテルのスタッフ。
and as it's a conversation between a hotel clerk and a customer, you'll hear formal Japanese. Now, the dialogue is a bit complicated. First, Ashley is fast asleep in her bed. The alarm clock rings, and she turns on the TV and watches the weather forecast. Then the setting changes. She takes the hotel elevator and goes to the lobby, looking for something.
I wonder what she's looking for.
We'll find out right now.
.6 時です。6時です。
今日の天気です。東京、雨時々曇り。横浜、雨のち晴れ。千葉、
雨、時々曇り。
おはようございます。何階ですか
1階お願いします。
かしこまりました。
おはようございます。
すみません。タクシー乗り場はどこですか？
こちらです。どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。
傘はありますか？
傘？いいえ、ありません。
では、これ、どうぞ。いってらっしゃいませ。
One time slowly.
今日の天気です。東京、雨時々曇り。横浜、雨のち晴れ。千葉、
雨、時々曇り。
おはようございます。何階ですか
1階お願いします。
かしこまりました。
おはようございます。
すみません。タクシー乗り場はどこですか？
こちらです。どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。
傘はありますか？
傘、いいえ、ありません。
では、これ、どうぞ。いってらっしゃいませ。
Now with the English translation.
6時です。6時です。
It's 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock.
今日の天気です。
And now for today's weather.
東京、雨、時々曇り。
In Tokyo, showers and occasionally cloudy.
横浜、雨のち晴れ。
In Yokohama, showers in the morning and then it will clear up.
千葉、
In Chiba,
雨、時々曇り。
showers and occasionally cloudy.
おはようございます。何階ですか？
Good morning. Which floor?
1階お願いします。
First floor, please.
かしこまりました。
Certainly.
おはようございます。
Good morning.
すみません。タクシー乗り場はどこですか？
Excuse me, where can I catch a taxi?
こちらです。どうぞ。
Right over here.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
傘はありますか？
Do you have an umbrella?
傘？いいえ、ありません。
Umbrella? No, I don't.
では、これ、どうぞ。
Okay, here you are.
いってらっしゃいませ。
Have a nice day.
Naomi sensei,
はい。
kasa kudasai.
傘。
Umbrella, please.
なんで？
Well, I can tell you that many Japanese people use umbrellas.
Yeah.
Even if it's a very light rain, you'll still see a lot of people with umbrellas.
Yeah.
In fact, on sunny days, you'll see people with umbrellas.
Depends on the area and the person, but yeah, it's true. We use umbrellas a lot.
So, Naomi sensei, how do you say umbrella?
傘。
And just break it down?
傘。傘。But the umbrellas we use for sunny days are called 日傘。
So, sun umbrella.
そうですね。
Not that common, but you do see people with them once in a while.
I use it. 日 means sun. 傘 is umbrella.
Naomi sensei, you don't like hiyake, like suntan?
No, I hate it. 日焼け damages your skin.
The skin can take a little. 大丈夫ですよ. It's okay. It's a little bit.
ダメです。
It's not okay.
No. Anyway, you'll see some people using 日傘 during summer.
Now, the weather in Japan is very seasonal. So if you come during tsuyu or rainy season, you'll need a kasa every day.
そうですね。The rainy season in Japan is 6月。
June, late May or early June.
そうですね。
Other than that, it rains quite a bit in Japan, so lots of umbrellas. But luckily, you can get very cheap umbrellas.
そうですね。ビニール傘。Plastic umbrella.
Vinyl umbrellas from anywhere from $1 to $5.
だいたい300円ぐらい。About 300 yen?
Okay, on to the vocabulary. First word.
時々、
sometimes,
と、き、ど、き、時々、
Next.
雨、
rain,
あ、め、雨、曇り、
Next.
cloudy,
く、も、り、曇り、
Next.
タクシー乗り場、
taxi stand, taxi terminal,
た、く、し、の、り、ば、タクシー乗り場、
Next.
何階、
which floor,
な、ん、か、い、何階、
Let's have a closer look at the usage for some of the words and phrases from this lesson. Naomi sensei, what's the first phrase we'll look at?
おはようございます。
Good morning.
To friends, we say おはよ
A shortened version of this expression. Okay, let's review greetings here. In the morning you say,
う。おはようございます。
or to friends,
おはよ
During the day, you say,
う、こんにちは。
don't forget to stress the N. Konnichiwa.
Right.
In the evening, you say,
こんばんは。
so all the greetings again, one more time, please.
おはようございます。
Good morning.
こんにちは。
Hello. Good afternoon.
こんばんは。
Good evening. Okay, what's next?
Let's look at some set phrases from the dialogue.
Okay, what's the first phrase?
かしこまりました。
Certainly, sir, or certainly, ma'am.
かしこまりました is a formal way to say わかりました。I understand.
Right. Wakarimashita and kashikomarimashita both mean okay, with the meaning of I understand, I see. Kashikomarimashita is a formal version used mostly by people who are addressing their customers. When you hear this phrase, although there's a much more deeper meaning to it, for now, just equate it to
わかりました。
I understand. So that's all that's being said. It's just a much, much more polite way to say it.
Right.
What's the next phrase?
いってらっしゃいませ。
It literally means go and come back. And it's said to someone who's leaving a certain place but is expected to return in the future.
In casual situations, we say いってらっしゃい。Is there a word or phrase for it in English?
I don't think we have a similar phrase for it. The closest translation would be see you when you get back. Or maybe like hurry back.
いや。そうね。
A good example to illustrate this phrase is in the morning when the kids leave for school, the mother will say,
いってらっしゃい。
so go and come back.
うん。
So the mother says it to the kids. She's in the place they're leaving but coming back to. So as a parting greeting, you say to someone who's leaving the place that they're expected to come back to.
そうですね。
Okay, what's the next word?
何階。
What floor?
何 is what and 階 is a counter for floor. So 何階 is what floor. Some people might say 何階 instead of 何階.
In the dialogue we have
1階
the first floor.
or ground floor in England or Australia. 1 is 1. Floor is 階. But for some reason, we don't say 1階. We say 1階.
I think ichikai is a little hard to say,
Yeah.
so that's why we put the pause in there instead.
うんうんうん。
Ikkai.
Right.
Now, there's a chart in Appendix 7, so please make sure to check it out. Let's quickly go over a few more. The first floor in the States, or the grand floor in Australia and England, is
1階、
the second floor.
2階、
So you see a pattern, the number followed by the counter.
階、
There's one exception though. That is the third floor.
3階、
After that,
4階、
fourth floor. Back to the number and kai. Fifth floor,
5階。
sixth floor.
That's an exception too. 6階、
The number gets shortened. Seventh floor,
7階、
eighth floor,
8階、
ninth floor,
9階。
and so on.
Yeah. And if you want to ask what floor, that would be 何階 or 何階。
On to the grammar section. In this lesson, you'll learn how to ask where something is using
どこ
the question word where, and learn useful weather-related vocabulary. Now, first things first. Let's get into asking location, shall we?
Sure. The question word where is どこ in Japanese.
Right. In the dialogue, Ashley asked where she could catch a taxi. Can you read that sentence, please?
タクシー乗り場はどこですか
Where's the taxi stand? Where can I take a taxi? Let's break down this sentence.
タクシー乗り場
Taxi stand,
は
topic marking particle.
どこ
Where
です
is
か
question marking particle.
So, as for a taxi stand, where is?
And of course, where is the taxi stand? Or where can I take a taxi?
So say the thing you're looking for and add はどこですか
So for example, if you're looking for an airport,
空港 is an airport. So, 空港はどこですか
where's the airport? If you're looking for a train station,
Train station is 駅. So, 駅は どこですか?
Where is the train station? If you're looking for a restroom,
Restroom is トイレ。So, トイレはどこですか?
where is the restroom? Remember, the construction is place you're looking for, followed by,
はどこですか?
okay? Next, let's take a look at some commonly used vocabulary related to weather. Naomi-sensei, what's the first word?
晴れ、
Sunny. Next important word?
曇り、
Cloudy. Next,
雨、
rain. In the dialogue, the weather forecast said,
雨、時々、曇り。
ame is rain. Tokidoki, sometimes. Kumori, cloudy. So,
雨、時々、曇り。
means showers, occasionally cloudy.
雨、のち、晴れ。
Literally, rain after sunny. So,
雨、のち、晴れ。
showers in the morning, and then it will clear up. So, something to remember is that the word nochi means after, and it only shows up in weather forecasts.
だいたいそうですね。I think that's the usual case.
Okay, let's recap with a quiz. The quiz will be multiple choice. We'll give you a question and 3 possible answers. Your job is to guess the answer, okay? First question. Which of the following means good morning? A,
こんにちは。
B,
おはようございます。
C.
こんばんは。
The answer is
B、おはようございます。
on to the next question. Which of the following means the first floor? A,
一度、
B,
何回、
C.
一回。
The answer is
C、一回。
the counter for floor is kai. So, nankai is what floor? Ikkai means first floor. And choice A, ichido means once, one time. This concludes this lesson. In the next lesson, Ashley is going to take a taxi. So,
You'll learn some useful vocab and phrases for taking a taxi.
see you next lesson.
じゃあまた。
Listen to the entire conversation once again.
6時です。6時です。
今日の天気です。東京、雨時々曇り。横浜、雨のち晴れ。千葉、
雨、時々曇り。
おはようございます。何階ですか？
1階お願いします。
かしこまりました。
おはようございます。
すみません。タクシー乗り場はどこですか？
こちらです。どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。
傘はありますか？
傘？いいえ、ありません。
では、これ、どうぞ。いってらっしゃいませ。
Practice with the review track.
時々、
Sometimes.
と、き、ど、き、時々、雨、
Rain.
あ、め、雨、曇り、
Cloudy.
く、も、り、曇り、横浜、
Yokohama.
よ、こ、は、ま、横浜、千葉、
Chiba.
ち、ば、千葉。タクシー乗り場、
Taxi stand, taxi terminal.
タクシー乗り場、タクシー乗り場。
Which floor?
何階、な、ん、か、い。何階、
Umbrella.
傘、か、さ、傘。
After.
のち、の、ち、のち。
First floor.
1階、い、か、い、1階。
Well then. Okay.
では、で、は、では。
Lesson